Hello y'all, I know it's been a long time, but I am back. So we are here with season 6 episodes 4 through 6 review. Yeah, we're going to, this is a first y'all. We're going to combine 3 episodes all into one. Y'all know my reviews tend to be just as long as the episodes. I'm going to try to condense it down to at least less than 2 hours. Because each episode is like an hour long. And I don't want this darn video being 3 hours. Besides, 3 hours trying to darn upload it in full HD. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Besides this, you know, I ain't got my damn Metronet anymore where it was like a gigabyte upload per second. I'm at the mercy of 100 megabytes per second. So, yeah, we definitely got the darn factor in the time constraints until I get into my place. Also, y'all know life has been hitting me in many different ways. Y'all know I have done a temporary job change, which I just made my 90 days on that. So if y'all want to learn more about that, go to my business channel and I give y'all all the details about my work life. So that's DivaWuan's business. It'll be in the description box down below. Also, you know, dating and all that stuff I'll tell y'all about later. So yeah, I've been going through so much surgery planning, you know, car searching and all of that stuff. I had not had time to actually sit down and do no reviews. Hell, I ain't even been having time to really watch the shows. I just got finished watching the latest episode. So let's start off with season 6, episode 4 and 5. I think due to how late it is, it's currently 9 something. Y'all know I work from 3 in the afternoon to 12 o'clock at night. I'm on the road 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Got to get ready around 10 in the morning. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze in all 3 episodes tonight. So if y'all see an outfit change, that is the reason why. So episode 4, we start off with King Kang. I guess it's a cliffhanger from episode 3 where they was arguing at the candle event. He ends up walking out the candle event. Troy and Neek are now back cool, so they freaking frat while darn Troy is on the outs and whatnot. I noticed that they also had matching outfits. I was like, ain't this darn? I was like, see, Troy, was best to leave darn things alone, honey. See, when you have, cause you got your industry friendships and you got I believe that Troy and darn from what I've seen, Troy and Dominique really had like a genuine friendship like that extends beyond the show. I don't know how Troy thought that he had that same dynamic with Dominique. Like, that always gave industry friendship to me. But then again, I don't know these girls super personally. I'm just telling y'all from my limited experience of knowing some of them in past and knowing some of them, not knowing them personally. But I've always got more so industry vibes from them. I ain't never really gotten like they were showing up besties like that. But you know, maybe there was miscommunication. Maybe he thought, maybe Kane thought there was more something there than it was or whatnot. And now he got egg on his face, child. Meanwhile, we get over to to Tony. And she's over there getting a nose job. Lord knows everybody getting something done, honey. First it was BBL Oliver. Then it was Troy with the fillers. Well, we don't know if he got those done yet. But he wanted to get the fillers. Tonka with the lap band surgery. Now that one is more so health reasons and whatnot. So I can understand Tonka with the lap band and whatnot and the weight loss. But then we get over here with Tony with the darn nose saying she has to reduce it to look pretty. There's some nuance to that. Because, you know, as, you know, T-girls and whatnots, you know, we do have self-consciousness about the nose or whatnots because, you know, genetically, you know, people who are assigned male at birth, the nose is naturally bigger than most females. Now, with Tony, her nose is more like a traditional, you know, West African nose or whatnot. So I got to be careful with my commentary on this because I know I'm speaking from a non-related place because y'all know my nose is naturally thin and elongated versus she's getting the surgery to get her nose what mine's look like naturally. So I can't relate to her on the nose or whatnot. However, I would still say, at one point I want to say, yes, you beautify yourself for yourself, but I feel like in another instance, like when it comes to like the nose and stuff that are stereotypically African featured, like, don't feel like you got to conform to the appeasement of it. Because when I heard about her reasoning as far as the nose job and talking about wanting to be filmed and all this, that, and third, it was giving me very much stereotypical keeping up with the ballroom scene, keeping up with the standard of the idolized beauty and whatnot, as if full African features cannot give that. Like, we got so many people of different hues and ethnic backgrounds within the African diaspora that has full features that are fabulous. I mean, you know, Rihanna, we got Tiana Taylor, we got Viola Davis, we got Tika Sumpter, and the list goes on and on of beautiful black girls with full lips and wide nose and tight 4 kinky hair and whatnot. We don't always have to have the long Eurocentric presenting style of hair. And before y'all say, oh well, Africans can have that aesthetic too, yes, we know. Once again, I'm a black person with a naturally thin nose, and I don't necessarily have the tightest texture hair, but let's not act like, once again, there is not a stigma in regards to full African features or whatnots, especially when we talk about career spaces and trans women and transitioning. Everybody wants to have their nose chopped down, and I feel like it's not really needed. I feel like, appreciate the nose that you in, but she done went and got it done. It's cute what it is. I just say don't go too far with it, because it seems like everybody who end up doing it once, they don't never stop there. She getting a revision, and then she going to get a full rhinoplasty. I was like, oh God, here goes the Atlanta trap. I see it every time, but I always start off as something small, then it goes to something like we see, and it goes even beyond the trans girls. We seen the shit with Nene Leakes done transformed into 10 different faces. Hell, Nene was looking like Tamar at one point. Sheree done went, and I don't know why Sheree touched her motherfucking face. Sheree over there looking like was looking like Hazel E for a moment. So I don't want Tony looking like let me hush. Tony girl, the darn results look good. Just don't touch it no more. You talking about having a full rhinoplasty, bitch? I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna be out here looking like a plus size darn Latoya Jackson. I'm telling you. Don't end up looking like a goddamn plus size Latoya Jackson fucking around with the damn nose now. Just leave it alone, girl. In my personal opinion, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, bitch. But yeah, that's my PSA on the darn nose and, you know, and all that. Child, seem like every episode I'm going to have to play Pretty High. Child, I swear, they need to get the darn clearance rights from Beyonce and play Pretty Hurts. Because every time we talking about the soul needs a surgery, honey, we always talking about some damn surgery on this goddamn show. But once again, it looks cute or whatnot. Moving on to King Kane. King Kane meeting up with Oliver at the set shop, honey. And then Seven comes in later or whatnot. She's talking about, I don't know how we got onto the topic of orgasms or whatnot. TMI, strangely, I can relate, Seven. Or whatnot. So it doesn't hit quite the same no more, honey. Once the estradiol hits, honey, all the extra flow and everything is non-existent. I mean, it's there. It's just mine's is, you know, it ain't hitting quite the same. She's shooting blanks completely over there. Me, it's more like it's a clear liquidy string. It's not super thick and, you know, hitting the ceiling like it used to anymore. So yeah, that's the downside. You know, when we go into our darn pills and stuff and whatnot. Seven, you not alone, girl. I feel you all the way 300 miles away over here in North Carolina, honey. Now, girl, now you was doing too much with blaming the shit on the hormones, talking about pineapples. I was like, what in the SpongeBob SquarePants shit is going on right here? Talking about going, the hormones done got her acting up and shit. And it's like, okay, that's partially true. It affects the girls differently. Look, but let me say this. It really is, in my personal opinion, And this is somebody who is, let me see, I started May of last year. So I'm currently June, July, August, September, October, November. I'm currently 18 months in. So, and I think she's currently now like 15 months or something, because she's like 2-3 months behind me. Girl, it really just exacerbates what your natural temperament is. So for me, y'all know I suffer from clinical depression. So with hormones, it made me more emotional. It made me more crying stuff, because y'all know I'm a Capricorn. I was you know, skillful at the poker face, not darn gonna showing any emotion. Honey, the hormones threw all that out the window. It exacerbated my clinical depression. 7 already had a mouth on her before her transition. So it really pretty much exacerbated that darn going loudmouth temperament, in my opinion. I feel like it does a lot of the girls that way, that it just pretty much enhances your core temperament of who you are. So if you're somebody that's already naturally more on the depressive side, it will exacerbate more of that emotion out of you. And if you're somebody that's more on the loud, talking, ratchet side, it'll exacerbate that. So, girl, you partially right on that, but let's not act like you wasn't already starting on 10 before you hit them darn on estradiol pills, girl. So, moving on from that, moving on. Then we get, let me see. Oh, we get darn on Dominique, being a creative director. Okay, come on through, career change. Honey, shout out to having multiple streams of income, honey. I always say, honey, you always should have at least 4-5 streams of good hell, especially in Atlanta, honey. Atlanta, honey, being a stereotypical dancer, singer, or in this case, even a dog groomer ain't just going to cut it in these darn gonna rising ages where everything want to be overpriced. Honey, especially in Atlanta. Atlanta's darn gonna creeping up on them darn gone prices. Like, $2,000 for a 2-bedroom and the shit looking like a darn gonna run down, you know, Comfort Inn. Like, So, yeah, in Atlanta, you definitely can't survive off of a regular 9-to-5 income. You just, even as a celebrity stylist, the thing is this, you know, those types of jobs is like, it's physical, where you can only get the money because, once again, I don't know the update on the, he did come out with a dog spray. I don't know how successful, obviously it wasn't that successful. He was homeless for, no shade. He obviously must not have been that successful because he was homeless for a brief period of time. But that goes to show why you always need to diversify your income and have multiple streams of income, including incomes where it's turnkey, where you can make money in your sleep, especially if you're somebody in the industry. You never know when there's going to be a writer's strike, where there's going to be issues going down in your area, you know, whether it be flooding, whether it be, you know, localized, you know, hurricanes or shit like that, that might shut down your local businesses. Like with the dog spa, like one flood, you out for a couple months. So I do appreciate darn we seeing him going into a different lane with being a creative director, honey. And speaking of creative director, he's on set with darn Tremel, Blast from the Past, honey. We ain't seen Tremel since the darn show that must not be named, honey. Because as of today, we are in October and season 3 of the show Who Must Not Be Named, that we've been waiting for what, like the past 2.5 years, has still not hit the darn air just yet. But Tremel is once again bracing his beautiful face over on the show that once made him originally famous, because before he went over to that show, he was over on Chasing Atlanta first, season 1. So I be forgetting that he's a darn actual singer, because you know, over on that other show, they be focusing so much on the drama and shit, we don't even be hearing about the music side of the musicians. So he got the music and everything, looks cute or whatnot. I can't wait to see the video. Then we get over to Tonka. Now, Tonka, I want to know how old the uncle is, because there's a discrepancy. He said that he ain't seen his uncle in 27 years. Yet the uncle looks like he's like no older than 40. So I'm trying to figure out, like, well, damn, did the uncle go into jail when he was like 13? Because y'all know they don't mind sending us to adult prison as young as 13. Because I'm like, but damn, the man don't look like he could be in his 50s or shit. Like, but yeah, they ain't seen each other in 27 years. I want to say Tonka was probably like, oh, let me not, I want to say Tonka's maybe like 35, 36. So 27 years, Tonka was like 8 or 9 years old or whatnot, give or take. Then we learned about some traumatic experiences. And once again, y'all, this is what also caused a delay, because each episode has like a heartfelt, very deep moment that I always can relate to. And I had to take this shit in spells, because it's like, I'm finally at a good place in my life for the most part. I'm getting over certain shit. And it's like, with me working and getting myself back up together, I don't want to, because like I said, I suffer from clinical depression. And so I almost contemplated on dropping this show, because it's a lot of heartfelt stuff in it. But thankfully, they're balancing it out with enough comedic relief and other stuff where I feel comfortable enough to still go on. But if it was just going to be all this heartfelt, honey, I was going to have to check out. And that was no disrespect to the cast. That's just for my own mental health. But we find out that, you know, when he was young, his grandmother used to have some colorist views because of the fact that he's heavyset. And obviously with being heavyset, he has the multiple colors, the discoloration, the darkness of the face, the neck or whatnot. Which is common usually when people are more heavier set. Your thyroid is more overly produced. Your melanocytes are exacerbated in certain areas compared to others. It's common for heavy-set people to actually have a darker neck compared to the rest of their body. Now, me, I didn't have that issue. Now, for y'all that did not know, I used to be a big fat bitch when I was young, too. So I can relate to Tonka. Not necessarily because I was on a more smaller scale. Because y'all know I was more so... How can I say? I was more like a slim, thick type of girl. Like, I was never like a super chubby. Like, I never had a stomach. But I had the hips and the thighs and all of that. And I had the full face and whatnot. But my arms and my stomach has always been proportionally smaller. I had a stomach, but in proportion to everything, I've never been like fully big. But I've been big enough, and I dealt with eczema, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So I understand having the multiple colors. Hell, y'all go back to my videos. I mentioned taking lightening products. Not to look white or anything, but just to get my skin like an even tone of brown, because I used to joke and say my body looked like a box of chocolates. Depending on which body part, you never knew what you was going to get. Like I was, you know, one shade up here, and then I was another shade up in this area, then I was one shade up in this area, then my legs are super chocolate, my darn gone behind is darn gone pitch chocolate, but then the front stick is looking brown skin, and then my darn gone torso is a lighter brown, my face is an even lighter brown, and then my hands are a light brown, but then my arms right here gets a little bit darker. Like I was all over the place. So I dabbled in lightening products carefully, because I also am cognizant on knowing about the dangers of like products like hydroquinone and stuff. So when I promoted skin lightening products in the past, I always made sure to make sure that they were black friendly. You know, that they were carefully lighten black skin, but not overly lighten you past your natural, and you know, not have you looking like Michael Jackson out in these streets and whatnot. Unfortunately, you know, in the black community, they don't take time to do that much research or whatnot. So, you know, they was doing the ignorant shit. Once again, been there, done that. We both from North Carolina. I was sat in the bleach bath too, because once again, that was another thing. And it gets even more controversial, because in the South, you actually have like licensed doctors that preach these wise tale bullshit as well. So it's like when it's coming from medical professionals, that gives your grannies and shit more leeway to think what they're doing is all true, but later on it comes out like this was a bunch of hogwash or whatnot. But yeah, I also can relate to being sat in the bleach baths thinking that that was going to help out the eczema, when really it was throwing my pH off. It was actually stressing my skin. It was stripping my more natural oils and causing more stress to the skin and causing more, you know, melanocytes to be produced, because I was doing these bleach baths, right? But we as black people, we don't teach about, you know, sun protection. We don't use SPF because we think our skin is immune. So you don't bleach this, you don't sat in this bleach bath, you're using these bleaching creams, but then you're exposing your newly damaged skin to the sun, and you're actually making yourself darker than what you were before, because now your acid mantle is compromised on the skin, thus making you more prone to even more post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, because you're overstressing the skin, you're stripping off the protective oils and stuff of the skin, you're throwing off your pH, your acid mantle, and you're becoming more susceptible to photo damage, you know, and UV damage. We don't teach nothing about this. And so as I endured all of this, that what also inspired me to go to school, become a licensed medical esthetician, and help correct not only my skin, but also be there to correct other people's skin as well. That's why I specialize in eczema treatments and, you know, color correction on melanated skin, specifically dark black skin. So that was my journey on how I became a medical esthetician, all stemming due to being dark skin, fat, black, also dealing with eczema. So Tonka, I relate to you 100%. My heart goes out to you. It's sad that, you know, your family members also was in that ignorant lane of whatnots, of, you know, feeling like, you know, being two-tone was something due to hygiene or whatnots, and not realizing, no, it's due to a combination of hormone factors. It's due to a combination of sun damage, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, a whole myriad of other factors as well. So yeah, my empathies definitely go out to you, Tonka, on that. And then we get over to everybody arriving at, see, then we lighten it up. We touch on the heavy subject, and then we switch it up to like the sex party. So everybody is arriving to the sex party. Now this is the shit I'm not darn going, and maybe it's because I've never been a girl that does that. Now I told y'all early on that I'm a girl that's blessed in a way where my intestines are somewhat self-cleaning. I know people don't really believe that, but I've never painted nobody. Now granted, I haven't had that in many years as far as the back door, but when I was active, I've never had to paint nobody. Now once again, taking into consideration, I do have Crohn's disease. My body metabolizes stuff a lot faster than most people. So between me having like a veganish diet at times and me having Crohn's disease, that can also lean to why my pipes are a little bit more steady and cleaner than most, or whatnot. But yeah, it is possible to have other options. Now they come out with so many different pills and stuff. I don't know why people are still utilizing the dish. And matter of fact, most of y'all are not even big enough where, in my opinion, I think you shouldn't really have to be going through the whole cleansing process unless somebody's bigger than 9 or whatnot. And granted, some of y'all hoes are size queens, but other times than not, y'all, if you messing with somebody under 9 inches, it's like if they're not touching the second hole, because I feel like the only time you really need to make sure you're thoroughly cleaned out is if somebody is large enough where they can reach the second hole inside you. If they're not that damn large, if they're in that 7 to 8 inch range, it's like, just eat a healthy light diet that day. Make sure you properly, you know, go to the bathroom properly beforehand, and make sure stuff is like the cleans and everything else. And you should be alright, honey. But yeah, everybody just giving out darn dishes just left and right, and it's like, ugh. What are y'all thoughts on that? Ugh. But anyways, yeah, that's that on that. And then we get into darn going Jay and Rico. Lord knows, Jay. Lord, everybody just freaking on this show. First it was Jay and darn on good coochie cat cam. Now I guess darn on Jay's getting a sample of darn on Rico's cat, honey. I mean, oh my God. I did not need to see them. I mean, both of them are cute or whatnot, but this is awkward seeing the visual of these two, because I don't think of them in that light. I could have did what I said the darn on what darn on Jay's stroke game was like. And Lord knows Jay wasn't. Matter of fact, maybe it's because Jay was just playing around. But I was like, honey, the stroke game ain't really stroking right. But then again, we later on found out the reason why Jay is really a bottom at heart, and he gives the, as he said, this is his words, not mine. He's DOD. He's dick on demand. So he don't give the dick out freely like that. Hence why it wasn't like this. It was more like. It was giving the Nancy Pelosi clap. I was looking, I was like, oh God, darn Jay ain't got no damn rhythm with the darn stroke or whatnot. Yeah, girl, just stick to the bottom and boom. Just stick to the bottom, honey. Then we get over to the straps or whatnot. So Rico's getting strapped up and everything. And it reminded me of these darn straps that I seen on Instagram that a certain plus size girl was doing. Matter of fact, if I have that video, I'll plug her real quick. Let me see if I can pull it up. Because I actually want that whenever I get back active. It won't be no time soon. I've been celibate now for, I done lost count. It's been over a year. So September of last year, October, November. It's been 14 months and some change. It's going on 15 months, and I don't see me breaking that celibacy anytime soon. Oh, here she go right here. Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn the music off. But child, I want to try this darn. And once again, everybody's fully clothed, so don't y'all try to flag my video and stuff. But child, I want to try this right here. She got the darn body pillow and everything, honey. So shout out to KashaJohnson.com. So if y'all want some similar straps that can hold up, and also since a couple of girls are plus size, you know, shout out to Tonka, shout out to Rico. Let me show y'all how thick this girl is. Because I know y'all saying, well, Diva, it's easy for your ass. Your ass is now slim and trim or whatnot. But, honey, as y'all can tell, she's a thick sister. She's in the 200 plus pound, you know, weight range and whatnot. So, if it's holding her up easy on the door or whatnot, honey, it can hold some of y'all thick bitches up too, honey. So, that's my darn sexual toy shout out and whatnot. Matter of fact, I might get this for Black Friday and just save it for... Save it for whenever I darn move or whatnot. So I've been currently looking at apartments and stuff, and I'm trying to narrow it down. It's hard because I currently ain't got my car. I'll be having my car within the next, I'm aiming for like the next 2-3 weeks. We're looking towards getting the car in December, and that will make going and seeing the houses a lot more easier. I'm looking to be up out of here by the new year. But yeah, that's what the straps reminded me of is hers or whatnot. And then we end off with Wayne breaking down and Jay having to give a motivational pep talk in the bathroom or whatnot. I was like, that's how that's how episode 4 ends out. We darn gonna see Wayne breaking down. Not to minimize Wayne and whatnot. Once again, hope everything gets better with the family situation and everything. Now, my thing is with the camera person, could we have not cleaned up the background? Like, could we not have not edited some footage out or blurred some stuff out? Like, why we needed to see the tissue on the ground? I was like, oh my God. Thank God the tissue was clean or whatnot. But if I'm the only one that noticed the darn piece of tissue just left is on the ground or whatnot, so I was like, oh God. But that's how episode 4 ends off. So let's go into episode 5. Okay, now we're on to season 6, episode 5. This is going to be a little bit longer. The notes are quite a bit more extensive. Well, y'all can't really see the notes, but oh, there y'all can from this angle. It goes all the way down to here. I'm going to finish up. I think I'll do episode 6 either tomorrow or Tuesday. And then I have it uploaded to y'all by Wednesday when episode 7 drops. So, episode 5. Oliver sits down with ballroom icon Sharon Balenciaga, honey. Shout out to Balenciaga, honey. That was one of the houses Beyonce darn going named off, honey. Givenchy. Yeah, what did she say? Givenchy, Yamamoto, Balenciaga, etc. But she's over there with head mother Sharon Balenciaga. So we learned Oliver would have been the only person that Sharon sponsors directly. She doesn't sponsor anybody of her house. They go through a whole rigorous process of vetting the folks to make sure that they are not just getting in it just for the sake of status or whatnot, so that they thoroughly know about the history of the house and everything. And I do appreciate that perspective from Sharon, that she just not darn gonna letting the girls get in just because they have a cute face and a fat ass and whatnot. That she's making sure that they actually have the substance, that they're willing to be in it for the long haul, not just for the vanity of it, not just because ballroom is just a popular thing at the moment because everybody's talking about it on the heels of Legendary and shit, but you know about it prior to Legendary. Like, you know about the show enough core history of ballroom in general, including the house of Balenciaga. Now, this is what stuck out to me, though, is when she told me that 10 years Oliver would automatically be an icon. And that's what I disagree with when it comes to the status of 5 years in, people automatically is deemed a legend. 10 years in, people is deemed an icon and whatnot. It's like if somebody's just been on the scene and just been there, but they ain't really done no titles, I think it should be like the music industry. It's like, I don't care how long you've been in the game, if you ain't really made no impact, it's like, do you really get the status of icon? And I'm just going to name drop some folks like Keisha Cole has been out for 20 years. Do we really consider her icon in the music industry? She got hits, but she ain't made the impact of icon. Beyonce has been in the game across 4 different decades, and she has solidified herself as icon. You have people that's been around longer than her that have not achieved that status, nor do they deserve the status. And I'm going to go ahead and say, hence, you know, Escape, you know, hence, you know, the Evie Eves of the world. Eve is a legend, but she ain't an icon. I even say SWV is legend, but not necessarily icon. The Supremes are icons. Tina Turner, icon. Michael Jackson, icon. So when I think in ballroom, it should be similar. It shouldn't just be, oh, because you've been in the game 10 years. Hell, there's a lot of people that can say they've been in the game 10 years. Do that automatically give them icon or legendary status? In my opinion, now I know that, you know, it's different as ballroom, but a couple of folks from the ballroom actually agree, because y'all know I'm a huge fan of ballroom television throwbacks. So I was watching them the other day, and I seen an interview where they was doing it with Alan Anderson, who is, you know, a legendary ballroom performer, and Brandon Milan, and both of them had similar sentiments to what I was thinking. Like, and they from the older days of ballroom. Like, they grew up in ballroom in the 80s and the 90s and whatnot. And they was talking about how you had to earn that status. You had to actually be the legend to even be considered for a legendary status. You can't just come in and just, oh, you just been around for 10 years. Oh, automatically you just get the icon status. It's like you actually have to do stuff to solidify yourself, make yourself stand out and whatnot. Like when it comes to Tonka, I would say has legitimized herself as legend because, hell, number one, when somebody who's not even familiar with ballroom, you become big enough where you have seen them or whatnot, heard about them, that's how you know you got that reach or whatnot. Tonka, I was familiar with even before Legendary. I seen Tonka here and there, whatnot, floating around or whatnot. Tonka, I would say, is legitimately legend or whatnot. But some of the other girls that be in there, I do, you know, relate to the same sentiments as the Alan Andersons and the Brandon Milans of the world, that some people just be in there for status or whatnot. Some people just got their face done. Everybody look alike. Nobody has the uniqueness no more. It's not no raw, you know, organic talent. Everybody has to look manufactured, big BBLs, and, you know, the face, the teeth all look like they got darn going, they went to the same veneer dentist or whatnot. Like, there's no naturalness anymore. So, And even with darn on Oliver talking about what Tonka's known for, it's like, yeah, Tonka is also known for avant-garde, but I want to say Tonka is mostly like the runway face girl. Like, yeah, Tonka can get glammed up in a extravagant costume, but I want to say Tonka's actually main category is giving the darn on runway the face. Now, I could be wrong, Tonka. Correct me on which one is your actual category, boo. But that goes to show that, like, before the girls get into it, you really need to know your true history of, you know, the ballroom inside and out. Not just to want to get in for the sake of the optics and the vanity and all that, or whatnot. Then we get over to, speaking of performances and shit, we get Drew performing the athletic splitting performance. Cute or whatnot, for what it is. She's a performance girl. Honey, she does more than what I can ever do. So I'm going to give her flowers on that. She knows how to do the splits and everything. I'm personally not impressed. Because it's like, okay, give me more. Like, okay, you know how to do a split. You know how to do the flips. But give me something, like, give me some actual legitimate unique choreography. When I see she does the splits, it just be seeming like it doesn't even really match in with the tempo of the song. It seems like she be doing it just for the sake of saying that, oh, she's athletic with it. Like, I would love for her to get to a level of more like an Ashley Everett or something like that, where you can actually match the tempo of the song and stuff. Like, not everything needs to be a super dynamic high kick and flip. Like, give us some versatility and flow with it or whatnot. So I would love to see, you know, Drew Friday pull back on that and give us a little bit more range in regards to the performances and stuff, and not just rely on every performance as a high kick or whatnot. Because, like I said, that could make you a one-trick pony real quick, where it's like every time we see you is just a high kick and everything else. Like, give us some range in the midst of that. And she definitely has the ability to do so. I wouldn't even darn gonna be saying it if I didn't think she had the ability to do so. If I think she was only just had the potential to just be one-dimensional, I just pay her dust. But she actually has the ability to give us dimension, especially darn going being friends with, you know, some of the girls that we seen her friends with from RuPaul's Drag Race and whatnot. So yeah, Drew Friday, just work on adding in some more diversity or whatnot. But it was cute. I'll give you a C+. So moving on from Drew Friday's performance, we did get We Were Born recounts Wayne done left their ass at the airport. So Wayne replaced Kendra for an event because y'all know Kendra is going through trying to find herself. She is, you know, trying to decide who Kendra is. She knows who little Kendra is, but she does not know who Kendra is, the person herself or whatnot. So as she's on this land of discovery, honey, she darn going couldn't make it to the thing. So Wayne is in place of her. And there was some transphobia allegedly going down to the airport, where they said Berlin was out of dress code as a guy because she had on the tank top or whatnot, and it had her cleavage showing a little bit. Can I see that happening in Georgia? Yeah, I can see some ignorant shit happening in Georgia. And Wayne the Pain, instead of sticking in solidarity and waiting to get on another plane, he hopped his ass on the plane and got to his money, honey. And it's like, well, hell, what y'all expect? Y'all wasn't close friends like that anyway. Once again, don't get overly invested in people or whatnot. Now, that right there, bitch, y'all some industry friends. I don't even want to hear that shit like, oh, he left us. Bitch, y'all ain't friends. At the end of the day, it's about the money, money, money. It's about the goddamn money. Now, if that was Jay Twine that left you, Berlin, I can understand you being hurt, because Jay Twine is your actual brother. That's your ride or die. That's your darn gone fellow co-worker. But honey, darn gone Wayne don't owe y'all no loyalty. It doesn't matter that y'all done hung out in the circles together. It doesn't matter that y'all on this show. It doesn't matter that y'all fellow queer people, whatnots. At the end of the day, y'all just industry girls, honey. Y'all click together for optics. When these cameras go off, y'all motherfuckers ain't hanging out like that with each other. You and darn on Jay Twine hang out, or whatnots. Y'all might hang out with Oliver lightly here and there, but y'all don't hang out with Wayne the Pain. So what do y'all expect from Wayne the Pain? So it is what it is on that. I definitely say y'all should have darn gone called out the airport specifically. Instead of calling out darn gone Wayne the Pain, we needed to see who we needed to darn gonna be calling out. Y'all should have been darn gonna putting whoever that bigoted darn gone flight attendant or whoever said y'all couldn't get on the plane. Y'all should have been dropping their names and darn gonna giving a call to action for us to darn, because it's like, how the hell y'all doing this shit in the gay black capital of the goddamn nation? So I think that was a missed opportunity. Especially darn on Chasing Atlanta being the largest viewed darn on LGBT web series on YouTube. Honey, that could have been an opportunity to do a call to action and darn on being Petty Wop darn on 3000 and darn on drop that person's image and darn on name up on there and darn on have everybody blast that darn on airport. And until there was a public apology that ensued. As a matter of fact, when we got done with them, they should have been giving you some darn on free trips. You should have automatically been getting some darn on free credit to darn on get on the plane, that automatically get prioritized to the front of the line, and darn going get on the plane for the free 99. That's how you should have been doing it. So instead of focusing on Wayne the Pain, somebody that don't owe you anything, you should have been focusing on getting that darn on airport together, in my humble opinion. That's that on that. Then we get over to King Kang with the business consultant. So it's funny darn on King Kang learning about the business vernacular or whatnots. He don't know what a net 30 is and all of this good stuff. The girl's putting her own game about setting up the business accounts and everything, trademarking the logo, make sure nobody don't steal your shit. You know, i.e. chasing darn on LA. When King Payne done stole darn on Andre's darn on likeness or whatnots, because that DBA didn't save you from the trademark getting snatched up or whatnots. And even to this day, they still have a discrepancy with that trademark. So trademark your shit if you believe it's actually going to be of something. It don't really cost that much. It actually costs way more to try to get your shit back versus establishing it. It takes like about $300 to $500 to get your stuff established. But to try to get it back would take a couple $1,000s. Also, my professional advice on some net 30s to look into for people who are just starting out, who have, you know, modest to low credit. You can look into Uline. You can look into Crown Office Supplies. You can look into Quill to get you started. Also, you can think about purchasing some authorized user trade lines. If you have the $700 to $1,400 to spare, that will also jumpstart your credit up, because that will put you under somebody else's account with established history of over 7+ years. Because you want to look for an account that's over 7 years old. That's going to give you that long age credit history. And then you want to look for a high dollar amount. That way, when you have your own personal credit cards, if you need to max them out, you won't have a high utilization, because you want to try to keep your utilization, I say ideally if you can under 10%. Worst case scenario, keep it under 30%. But if you need to max out those cards during some times, then pay it off towards the end of the month, preferably before your statement, you know, reports to credit bureaus. You know, if you miss it and can't pay it all and you at a 50 and you maxed out your cards, if you have that high authorized user account, let's say you have 20,000 in personal credit cards, and you got them maxed out, that's going to be 100% utilization. Now, let's say if you purchased a 40,000 authorized user account, that is 60,000 reported on your credit report. So even though you maxed out your $20,000 in personal credit, you know, your business credit or whatnot, that $40,000 that has a 0% utilization rate, it averages it out to you only using a third of your credit. Even though you cannot access that $40,000, it's still being reported on your credit report as an authorized user as 40,000. And once again, these are hypothetical numbers. So, you know, 40 out of 60,000, that's 2/3 of your credit limit not being utilized. So that puts your credit utilization at 33%, as opposed to 20,000 out of 20,000 will put you at 100%, which will have your score dropped in tank. So that is the power of purchasing authorized user accounts. You can go to like TradelineSupply.com and get one, shop around. Like I said, the ideal one is to get, you know, good high dollar amount, 25,000 and up, 7+ years in. That's my professional suggestion for you, King Kang, in regards to jumpstarting your business, making sure you're getting yourself lined up right, having a variety of different accounts and stuff. That way you look more palatable for certain business options or whatnot. Also, make sure you get in with a good credit union. Credit unions are a lot more generous when it comes to us as Black people, also us as queer people as well, in regards to funding. You know, Bank of America and stuff is cute as well, but let's not act like, you know, Bank of America and the Wells Fargos don't have a nasty history of, you know, treating us differently versus them. So definitely look into like your Truist banks, formerly known as BB&T. Definitely look into like your Navy Federals or whatnot. And it's so easy to get into Navy Federal. You don't actually have to be a member of the military. It's so easy to get around that, as far as, you know, if you got a friend who can refer you in or whatnot. And hell, in the state of North Carolina, now you don't even have to actually have nobody that's military connected. But in Georgia, look into like similar credit unions or whatnot. Credit unions are a lot more generous when it comes to minority-owned businesses, in giving high credit limits. You start off with a secure credit card of $200, and then within 6 months, they are offering you a $20,000 business line of credit. That's how generous some credit unions like Navy Federal can be. So definitely make sure to consult with your business consultant that you have on those types of options. And I pray for the success of your business. I definitely am praying for the success, because y'all know I am a sex connoisseur as well. Porn and a sex connoisseur. So once again, my offer still stands on King Kang, that you can send some of the products to the address. Since I gave you all this business, see, you paid that girl probably $1,000 for that advice that she gave y'all about the net 30s and net 60. I done gave you a whole little master course right now on this goddamn video for the free 99. So the least that you can do, King Kang, is send me some darn on toys to review, honey. Because we get into episode 6, you done gave Jay Twine, and Jay Twine ain't in your good girl pile like that. You done gave Jay Twine some damn toys. And meanwhile, the darn on sex toy reviewer on the YouTube, honey, you ain't gave me shit. I feel some type of way, King Kang. So once again, hit my email up. I give you my address, girl. So getting off of that, we got to also congratulate Jay on his new deal with Shein. Bittersweet on the Shein, because we know about the bittersweet history of Shein. Because y'all remember I talked about, you know, how banks don't appreciate us or whatnot. Now we get to Shein. Shein don't really be appreciating us, because they be stealing the likeness of Black designers and not crediting and citing the sources of the ideas that they be getting from the Black designers. They purposely come out with lower price items and be stealing from the Black designers, and darn gonna drive the Black designer out of business or whatnot, because the Black designer has no choice but to pay, you know, charge this much, because she's doing the shit by hand. She's insourcing the material from the States or whatnot, versus you getting your shit from China. You have the money in the pool to get millions and millions of dollars worth of fabrics and shit, versus this regular mom and pop shop is not able to match that darn going same level. So you're giving cheaper quality at, you know, 10 times less the price, at the expense of Black entrepreneurs who are legitimately darn going creating their designs from scratch. So yeah, Shein does not really have the best history when it comes to us. However, you know, maybe they might be on a rebranding, you know, because Jay don't seem as the person that will rip off anybody's designs. We never heard of him, you know, stealing anybody's ideas. We seen his shit be, far as I know, authentic. So hopefully this is Shein's way of having some black designers that are actually creating original concepts to change the narrative of what we know of Shein. So instead of stealing from black legitimate designers, actually hire those black designers and create your own authentic darn clothes or whatnot. Create partnerships with them and help them darn get their notoriety and stuff out there, while also building up y'all brand overall, and also cleaning up y'all darn image from darn stealing from black folks to now helping black darn entrepreneurs get their stuff out, black fashion designers get their stuff out. So I'm in one sense here for Shein, trying to change the narrative on a corrupt history, and it's working out to Jay's favor or whatnot. He now got the fashions or whatnot, creating swimsuits and everything. So I hope that works out well for Jay Moore. So that's that on that. Then we get to the darn pool event, honey. I remember when this shit happened. It was a whole scandal down to the Instagram with this darn party promoter. The first they darn had the event number 1. Unauthorized space. He got scammed out of the space. Honey, Atlanta is known for scams, honey. So the scammer got scammed. Hot damn. So the scammer got scammed out of location number 1. They had to leave from location number 1. Location number 2 was a rink-a-dink darn pool or whatnot that looked like anybody could have paid $2 to get into. So folks was in their feelings like, why the hell we done paid all this money and this looked like a damn kiddie pool at somebody's darn house. So you had the basicness of the darn it was almost like the 3 Bernstein Bears. Like this porch is too hot, this one's too cold, this was too right. Honey, this one was unauthorized event. This darn event was too tacky and small, but the third one was just right. It was nice. It was darn giving, decent. I think it was in a condominium or whatnot. So the third one was just right. So we get to the third one or whatnot, and yeah. I think there was even some more discrepancy on that or whatnot, where they almost got put out of that. I'm not sure. But in the meantime, we get to, let me see, what else happened? Now, Rico, why is you being shady? Now, I don't even know. Now, I guess it's going to be shady. I ain't even took time to research who the folks were. That's the gag within itself. Rico, you shading the folks. We don't even know what show they even supposed to be on. You talking about here they go again. I was like, when did we see them the first time or whatnot? Talking about that here these folks going peeping in on the show or whatnot, some of that other show or whatnot. Rico, I need you to fill me in on what was the show in question. Y'all, I follow all the web series. I honestly don't recall them, honey. That must have been one that actually did not make it to the air or whatnot. Then we get Dominique with the underwear malfunction showcasing the goodies. Now, Dominique, I ain't looked at you never on this type of time. But, honey, I told y'all, in my defense, I'm a porn connoisseur. So, y'all know. See, this is why it wouldn't have paid for me to be in Atlanta at that time. Because, honey, I would have, my ass would have been darn watching and giving darn commentary, honey. Because y'all know they say big things come in small packages, honey. And darn Dominique got them abs and everything. I'm sure the darn the caramel stick was just as nice and whatnot, honey. It paid for me to not darn see that. Because, honey, I would have been a petty bitch giving darn commentary down to the Twitter and the Instagram. I might even would have came on YouTube. I might would have even came on YouTube and said some darn shit about you darn Dominique, honey. I mean, between you and Willa, honey, y'all have really been darn showcasing darn temptation. But I got to remind myself that y'all are forbidden fruit, that y'all are off limits. I can't even really look y'all way for reasons we will not name. Conflicts of interest, honey. Conflicts of interest. But, honey, that does not mean that I still can't look and give my commentary, honey. But anyways, yeah, we had darn Dominique with the wardrobe malfunction. Then we darn get over to darn Jayla. makes an appearance at the end. And then, of course, Rico takes the time to throw shade at Nicole because him and darn Nicole done fell out for the third time. I secretly said in the back of my mind when they formed that friendship, I was like, I give it 6 months. Now, they lasted longer than 6 months. Because Nicole is just that type of bitch where, and this is no shame because I follow Nicole and whatnots. But I can tell Nicole has a certain temperament where she's a very inquired taste. And on mad days, she don't mind going down to... Now, I will say this. Now, they must have had a close enough friendship because normally the first thing the bitch would say on mad day is she likes to be elitist. She likes to talk about how she owns her several different houses and shit like that. So I was surprised that she didn't go down to the gutter and talk about Rico's dynamic or whatnot. Because y'all know anytime, Nicole has a chance to be a leader and, flaunt her wealth, she always does it at the expense of somebody else or whatnot. But she didn't go that wild whatnots, but they still on the outs with each other behind the show, the deception and all the drama that ensued, posts, all these episodes of Chasing. I don't know, they might darn gonna give us a little sample because we're now in the month of May and we're on episode 6. All that scandal with darn the deception happened in July. So it might be a good high chance that we might see a little bit of that shit play out towards the latter end of the season, but right now they ain't touched on the deception drama and all that shit. But yeah, there are some other things between Nicole and Rico going on. So he felt the need to throw some little quick shade towards Nicole, and Lord knows I already know she probably had some clap back for that, honey. True to Nicole fashion, I'm sure she got jumped on her Instagram live right after that that episode aired, honey. But yeah, it was nice to see Jayla make an appearance or whatnots. Then we get once again, here we go with the sex appeal. We got big booty Oliver and sexy ass Willa hugging up with the lesbian action. I was like, oh my God. Diva, keep in mind these motherfuckers is off limits. You can't you can look, but you can't really even say too much, honey. They off limits, Diva. They off limits. They off limits. They off limits. But who isn't off limits is, I want to know who the fine caramel nigga that was in the background. In the background. In the background. Honey, I want to know who that fine caramel nigga is in the background with the good smile and the abs and everything. See, honey, he ain't off limits, as far as I know. So, honey, if anybody of the cast want to go ahead and, forward him my information and whatnots, tell him DivaWuan said hi and whatnots. DivaWuan wants to see what's up or whatnots. DivaWuan want to go ahead and break this celibacy up on him or whatnots. Go ahead and give him my information, honey. Because, But anyways, moving on from the sex appeal, honey. Lord knows that was just too much sexiness in one scene, honey. You had Willow with the titties and the face. You got Oliver with the cute face and the big booty, honey. Then you got even the background was looking sexy with the man with the sculpted abs. Yeah, let's move off the sex appeal, honey. Yeah, damn, y'all make me want to go break my damn celibacy, child. Then we get up with Dominique and Troy end up getting into it at the event with King Kane or whatnot. Kane went too far, accidentally shading Tonka. No, Troy and Dominique. Lord, I read that all the way wrong. Troy and Dominique end up getting into it with King Kane. Not Troy and Dominique got into it together, but they got into it against King Kane at the third pool event. Kane done snap, and Tonka trying to be the mediator. And Tonka done caught a straight bullet. Next thing we know, honey, Concord Gangster done came out of Tonka, honey. Tonka had to be like, now wait a minute, bitch. Now what you won't do is think you the goddamn king over me, honey. Now, bitch, you play that goddamn Mama D shit with all these other motherfuckers. But, honey, you might be the king, but the queen is the most powerful piece on the motherfucking chessboard. Honey, Tonka was giving honey queen bitch done a check the king, honey. The queen has checked the king. Honey, once again, the king is perceived to be the most important piece on the chessboard, but never forget the most powerful piece on the chessboard is always the queen, honey. So the queen had to come out of darn Tonka. The Concord gangster darn had to lay hands on darn King Kane and get him together real quick. The King Kane humbled himself real quick. He didn't want no parts of goddamn Mama Tonka, honey. And that's how we ended off. That's how we ended off that scene. It was like a darn black mama scolding they darn 5-year-old child. Kane was just looking all sad and defeated. Kane, you brought this shit upon yourself. You brought it upon yourself. But that's how we end. So I'm going to end it off here, and then we'll pick up later on with episode 6. So I will see y'all soon. Mwah.